Okay, so this morning I woke up to a pretty interesting message, a YouTube comment on the making of video for the Making of Witch Stories, and it's from AASZBAZB. It says, "Hi Stephen, I just found about you and your game from a YouTuber / Twitch streamer called Kaif from his latest video on his secondary channel, Kaifi. Just thought I should let you know that a YouTuber had played your game and left a Steam review for it." So that's a cool thing to wake up to. And basically, I've already watched the video, but I do want to get some of my thoughts and feelings out on this. And then I'll also tell you how I spent the entire fucking day patching the game. So, okay, I guess this is his second account, which is 123,000 subscribers, but his other account has like almost 1 million. I think I've probably seen things from this guy before. Let's just jump right into this bitch. Okay.
I played 6 brand new games on Steam.
Look, there I am. Witch Stories, right in the middle at the top. Sick.
Jump into some potentially terrible games. The game kicks off with a philosophical discussion about whether our choices are our own or predetermined. As far as I could tell, this changed nothing about the game. So we wait.
As far as you could tell. Okay.
Yo, shut the fuck up, kiddo. Now, here's the thing. The game doesn't really tell you what to do or hold your hand at any point after this.
You know, okay, so this is the first time that he mentions the whole like not holding your hand thing, right? And I do agree that there's definitely like places for improvement that could be done, and it's in ways that I'm not even really sure of like how to implement, but I know that there's room for improving there. So I guess I could have wasted the player's time and added like herbs to collect for you to like sort of anticipate cooking a hare that you're about to have delivered to you by your husband. But I kind of feel like that would have been a little too misleading and a waste of time. You know, there's already so much of a balancing act you have to do with like respecting the player's time here. There's already so many fucking difficult decisions you have to like make for respecting the player's time. But it is an interesting one. Be like, oh yeah, let me actually get the cutlery and herbs ready because dinner's coming.
Can I put the baby in the fire?
None.
No, you can't. But I did find out that you can drop the...
Putting the baby in the fire was a wish list item. It didn't get added. Perhaps Halloween 2025 we'll see a patch for some things like that.
We'll follow what God intended. And by God, I mean the developer. We follow the path.
Following the path is crazy to me. I'm basically never on the path. I would. Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Dude, I just want to get some puss.
That's good.
But the house doesn't even have a hitbox.
It does now.
This did mean that I had to sit through the incredibly long intro philosophical question, and there is no way to skip this.
You can now. You can skip all the dialogue now. I really wish I would have implemented that feature from the beginning.
Okay, so what exactly is my objective?
Yes. What is the objective? What is my objective? You know, I think there's one little piece of content that could kind of put a little bow on that question. I could put a little piece of paper that says something like, don't forget to deliver eggs to so-and-so today. Just so there's like semblance of an objective. You know, maybe like that kind of thing really rounds off the corners and makes the experience a little smoother for sure. That kind of thing can help. But yeah, I was trying to ship this game as fast as possible. So it's another one of those things that might have to wait until the patch, Halloween 2025 patch.
3 yellow Tabithas, a feather of a raven.
Just yellow Tabithas, not 3. Just yellow Tabithas.
And the lifeblood of a venerable tree? Hold on to that thought, boys.
I would like to take this moment to appreciate that he helps ease the narrative along with these little interjections, the voiceovers and stuff, that keep that in mind, the repeating of the thing to kind of make the setup very clear, right? So clearly that's already why I really appreciated a lot of the thoughts that he's giving during the gameplay, because his awareness of like narrative unfolding or like details or context and stuff like that is apparent in his video making as well. I just love seeing the baby. And I know it's to prevent the wailing, the incessant, unbearable wailing of the child. But, I mean, isn't that what mothers and fathers do anyway? You know, it's like they don't want to hear their baby crying. So the same gentleness that I may project on a real parent hushing or soothing their child, I'm projecting onto him.
Very long story about his father. My God.
It used to be even fucking longer. I'm keeping it as long as it is because I think that if you are in the mood for that and if you are settling into this vibe, then it's gonna be ace for you. I think it's like a solid sequence. You know, if not, the newly implemented dialogue skipping feature can help you through that.
I don't really get the moral of the story. Don't be unfaithful, I guess.
You know, the moral of the story is love the one and only and almighty God. I think like that's the moral of the story. I think the moral of the story is that this guy believes in witches because there's been a generational experience with it. But it is interesting, right? Because like you hear somebody tell a story like this, and it's almost like there is like an implied moral, right? Especially in a game that's like fucking drenched in symbols and themes of like Christian ideology, right? So
I'm unable to recite the Lord's Prayer by heart, and this game has a multiple choice question reciting the whole prayer.
This is like my favorite part watching like in the whole thing.
How do we think that went?
This Father which art in heaven.
It's like watching a person. So, and by the way, this is coming from a fucking atheist, former Catholic, turned atheist, watching this very like watered down and like petty version of indoctrination by forcing somebody to recite the Lord's Prayer in a video game is just checkmate, atheists.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Good boy, good boy, good boy.
come.
Let thy will be accomplished on earth as it is in heaven.
I will not ask
Close.
thee again.
I just want to say too is that like when I was like writing these lines, they had to be as like close to the line as possible, or even sort of like just kind of use some of the same language in it, so anybody who was like fuzzy on it would fuck it up. Like the purpose of this sequence is because in the history of witches and like catching witches or hunting witches or, you know, running them through trials and stuff like that, one of the main things that they would do is make them recite the Lord's Prayer. And the details of this are a little fuzzy. If you've seen the behind the scenes of the making of this game, how I went to Salem and I went to one of their witch history museums and I was asking my guide, the question I asked was like, how do you fuck that up? Everybody knows the Lord's Prayer at that time. Everybody's Christian. Who's failing that test? If they're told to recite the Lord's Prayer and then you can't say it, then you're a witch and they fucking kill you. How do you fuck that up? And the answer that I got from my guide, because it's like interpretive. I don't know if I haven't been able to find anything in like history books or anything, but I think the interpretation is, and what she told me was that like, you just have nerves, that you're just like stressed out, that you're like faced with all these people calling you a witch and you say like one word wrong or you like stutter maybe or something. And then that like, and they count that as like a fail. It's like an insta fail.
In the Lord's Prayer,
Shit, my bad.
thy kingdom come.
Give us this day.
Shit, my bad. The last words of any witch hung in the fucking 1600s when they said, holy, holy, holy Lord of whatever. Not the right words.
What cursed spirit possesses the flesh of my beloved?
Yeah, yeah.
Husband, please.
Yeah, beg for your fucking life.
The end.
I'm glad you got a kick out of that.
Nice.
There's plenty more. There's plenty more.
Holy shit. I got strangled to death for forgetting the Lord's Prayer. Jesus.
And yep, basically people really did. I don't know how common it was to be strangled by somebody else's hands for not reciting the Lord's Prayer correctly, but people had goddamn nooses around their necks, or worse, tied up to a fucking pile of logs and then burned.
Me Hinksy annihilated there. I couldn't have been more wrong. We have some free time.
I love that. Love the little flavor text. His storytelling is helping sell my story just as much, because you're like missing clips from this live stream that he did. I think this was a live stream. This VOD highlight edit. Those little interjections really help a lot.
It was such a long walk.
The walking thing, man, I am working on it. Actually, I'm not working on it, but I did. I put a good amount of thought into this, and I don't know if I'm really just gonna have to like bite the bullet. But here, let me just give you a quick explanation. Right, here's the problem in a nutshell. You have this map in which you want the player to be immersed in like the atmosphere of things, right? And a lot of tension is built out of nothing happening. But at the same time, you don't want to waste the player's time and have them walking and walking and walking endlessly without anything ever happening. So you would hope that whatever design you come up with is a nice balance that leads you to make the player feel immersed in whatever the space is without becoming bored or frustrated. But it's kind of like the Stanley Parable problem. I remember Davey Wreden saying that, like, the problem with the Stanley Parable is just that, like, you do have to do the same things over and over again, and that it is inherent in this thing, which is like, take a small world that has a huge breadth and depth of branching paths in its narrative. Surely you're just going to run into that same corner that you've taken a million times. So, you know, he's gone back and forth a few times already at this point. That kind of, it can be a little bothersome.
I needed an egg basket.
Totally my fault, this whole egg basket part, because the version that he's playing is before the day 1 patch, which is actually more like day 2 or day 3. But the day 1 patch, I noticed that there was some interaction text that wasn't loading on, one of which was the egg basket. So there's a part where he looks at the egg basket and just walks right by it. But if it would have had the interaction text that says, like, pick up egg basket, then maybe he wouldn't be in this position.
I still have an egg, though, right? We can have chickens. Those are like kids. And they don't talk back to you. My husband's going to kill me. The witch stole my baby. Doesn't mean I gotta die.
Tell him.
Then you have no baby and no wife. Now, I went AFK for a bit to get a drink while I just waited for the music to end. And when I returned, I was met with a black screen and screaming. Now, like the idiot I am, I forgot to record this, but the game simply just starts again. But not...
He did get an ending, but that was when some of the ending sequences were a little buggy. That sucks. All of them are patched now.
Come here! Oosh! Oosh! Now, I was not able to kill the hare with the axe.
That's another one of those things that's kind of on those Halloween 2025 wish lists, is like figure out an interesting thing to tie into being able to kill the hare with the axe. There's just like narrative reasons I didn't add that just felt dissatisfying to kill the hare there because of like lore that I'm sort of like hanging on to at the back of my mind. October 2025 maybe. We'll see. Oh, I love this moment.
What? How do you get in here?
Capturing this.
Leave me alone. The fucking hare's trying to tempt me, dude.
This is gonna be beautiful. I love this.
Oh, sweet heavens!
I just love.
My chickens!
I just love watching the whole thought process.
The eggs she wanted. Oh, fuck yeah! Yeah!
What did she do?
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I'm so curious to know like what people's thought process is when they get to this point. When they first of all when they make that decision, and then when they get to this point. Did she do it? Is this the right thing? Who can say?
And then I made a major discovery.
Okay, see, that's another one of those things where it's like, I thought about putting interaction text on that fucking tree so many times. Or like, do I put a little thing that says, hit with axe? Do I draw even more attention to it? It's a fucking chopped tree in a whole forest of not chopped trees. It's right next to your house. You have an axe. And then so it's exactly for this kind of moment where even though it took kind of a while, that it felt organic. The look on his face was everything.
Oh, that's what the woman was on.
I love hearing the oh.
I searched the entire map and I could not find yellow Tabithas.
Okay, this is totally my bad again. I am so fucking sorry for this. I mean, like they're there. They were there. The yellow Tabithas were there. I think there was like 3 areas of them, and their whole bundles, like their little batches. So for every one of those areas, I think there was maybe like a dozen or so flowers like sprouting out of the ground. They were all by trees. They were all at the foot of a tree. They were all in the area of where the young woman was. The problem is that they didn't have any interaction text on them. So if you're walking by and you put your mouse over them, there's no way of knowing like what you're looking at really. And they are small enough, and you know, with the daytime, even with the lighting set up, whether there's too much light on them or they're in the dark a little bit, they might not always be clearly yellow flowers. And so again, this is my bad, because I think it would have helped a lot to have that interaction text on them, which has been patched. Not only has it been patched, but there's more of them now, and there's some additional things that I added that helps draw the player's eye towards them.
They're probably somewhere on the map, but I could not find them.
Pains me so much to hear that. It pains me so fucking, like this morning when I was watching this in bed this morning, just on my phone, and I was just like, oh, just like I had to like watch this video at 2x speed, because I was just like, oh, I just need to fight. I just need to get to work. And I've been working all goddamn day, like trying to clean shit up on this goddamn game. All of this wonderful, wonderful feedback. And it's not even the feedback that he's necessarily like saying or expressing outright. It's like some of the things just like watching how he behaves. By the way, also shout out to all my friends who have given some wonderful feedback as well.
The day has been long, and I find
This also pains me when this fucking happens. I was like, God damn it, dude. God damn it. It's also fixed. That's you can now do it, and he doesn't just stand there walking all bloodied up anymore. He actually fucking drops dead. But god damn, this is painful to watch.
Earlier in one of my runs, I'd found these berries. Now, I was
Good.
convinced they were poisonous, but I had to test for science.
As you do.
Shit.
I love how he notices the ever slight
husband's coming home to find a
change
corpse.
in the field of view,
The funny
and
thing
he's
is
just
that
like,
endings take a long
that's what
time
happens.
in this. There'll be a really, really long fade to black.
This whole ending taking for everything, I think it was just that the game didn't properly end. That was one of the bugs. So, patched.
Now what? Huh? Huh?
This.
Now what? Yeah.
This was one of the very, very, very few situations and instances that I did not anticipate. People have come to me with so many like, oh, this happens when this happens. And I was like, oh yeah, like I thought of that. I just didn't put in a condition to prevent it from happening or whatever. But there's like only maybe like 3 or 4 things that people were like, just these very specific set of circumstances. It's a good one. It's a really good one. I've done nothing about it. Like, the hair will still behave as if there's chickens there. That's a bug. Again, maybe Halloween 2025.
Fuck you for hiding the Tabithas.
See, the first strike, he's like, yeah, so what? Second strike is like, what's going on here?
Oh. That's fucking disgusting. She popped. What have I done? Oh my god, what have I done? That is fucking disgusting, dude. Oh my god.
I love that. Not very many things in this game go unpunished. I tried my very, very hardest to find ways to reward the player for actions taken and inaction.
Here he just repeats his father's story, and I sat through it with the greatest poker face you've ever seen, I guess.
This is also a good one. I have thought of this. I've had a few ideas about how to handle this situation. They get a little complex. At least the ideas that I have that are satisfying. So currently this happens. You sit there and be like, I love how he says it too. He just sits there with his poker face.
Wait, he's not snoring.
First of all, I'm glad that he observed that the husband was not snoring. That's totally one of those things that is like, I went out of my way to put in a few condition checks to confirm, yeah, your husband's dead. I feel seen. So thank you for seeing me in that way, in observing that your husband doesn't snore when he falls asleep, when he goes to bed after eating poison.
So I came up with a plan. I left our baby next to our dead husband and planned to give the other baby.
Okay, so here's the problem. His plan is sound. I'm gonna slow it down. Okay, we're gonna go 0.25x here, slowing it down. Leaves, right? Steps out the door. Just keeps walking. The door is wide open, my dude. There's a handful of things to take into consideration when you're thinking about the witch possibly stealing your baby. Top of that list is the accessibility to your home. I'll just say that broadly.
And my baby's okay. And that's all that matters. Right, the baby's not crying.
Oof.
No!
Curiously, the footage is a little missing here, right? We're here. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna slow it down. Playing it. Okay, he's walking towards the house. Skips right to the house. I think what we may have seen in the raw footage is the door being wide open, and therein lies the problem. At least the beginnings of the problem.
It took the stillborn and my baby.
I love the music cue with his performance. The timing is great. So look at this shit. View my achievements. These are the ones that I unlocked right now. Just me testing it out, but look at all these other ones. So these are all for the endings so far. I think maybe sometime next week I may add some more achievements just for discovering some of the Easter eggs, which are not necessarily endings. But these are all ones for the endings at least. So there's a kind of a more reliable way of tracking which endings you've seen. So go play Witch Stories. It's only $5, baby.